entertaining, and I say, look, I just want to be clear, I don't see my show as entertainment, okay? Okay, I don't see it as entertainment. Sometimes I do entertaining things because when you're on the air 3-4 hours a day, sometimes I'm not in as focused a mode. Look, I just suggest, I try to be a platform for other people, organizations, groups. I try my best. But let's just say I'm trash. I'm scum. I'm filth. I'm worthless. I'm no good. I apologize for everything I've done. Now, let's move on from there. There are weather weapons. There are things going on out there. I know about national level exercises. FEMA a lot of times puts out public things. I'll check into what you're saying. Why don't you send it over to showtips@infowars.com. You may have tried to get it to me a couple times. We just get a lot of spam and stuff, so good stuff gets lost in the mix. Okay, now let's move on to the next person. Let's go ahead and talk to Heather in Indiana. Heather, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Hi, Alex. I was listening to your last caller while I was on hold, and my God, people are just crazy. And I want to applaud you and me and my
No,
whole
I'm bad.
family
No, ma'am, I'm bad. I'm bad. Go ahead.
Oh my gosh! But you're excellent. We have all your videos. We give them to people, and you have done a fabulous job in waking up so many people who have had their eyes shut for so long. But I'm calling to ask you a question because I listened to a show previously, not too far in the past, about a woman who had called in. She was very emotional and crying that they were doing spraying of some type of pesticide, aerial spraying, and it was harming her daughter, and she was asking for help and things like that. And I've been listening the whole show and about taking a right and your amendments and sticking up for yourself. And I'm about to do the same thing in my own town. But I was kind of just wondering, instead of going through the approach of an aerial pesticide harming you and harming the animals or harming the crops, because I really just don't think they care. Petition or no petition. Is it a good thing to go against them if you have endangered species that supposed chemical maybe couldn't come in contact with? I'm just trying to...
Well, here's the problem. You can use their baloney loopholes, but a lot of times if it's not them using the loophole, then they'll kind of ignore you. The biggest issue is they do spray a lot of experimental things to take out different insects and moths, and a lot of times it's really just a kickback to their buddies, for the state or county to make purchases of those chemicals. And you just got to do a foyer of what type of chemical they're spraying. And a lot of times they're not authorized to be doing what they're doing. And as soon as you then fax that out to all the newspapers, it's going to end up being in the newspaper, and that program is going to get shut down very, very quickly. Anything else?
No, I just wanted your opinion on that. We listen to you all the time, and listening to previous callers, we just wanted your opinion just on how to do the right thing and possibly not get shot down right away.
Sure. Well, every case is different. Every geographic area is different. The specifics of it, I don't know. But just get your facts pretty much straight and then take action and stand up for yourself. And even if you're not fighting the most important issue, or even if you're not 100% right, getting involved in your government is the answer. God bless you. And going back to Jeremy, that happens sometimes when I'm taking calls. People think, they're going to go for 10 minutes and when I have time to get to other people. And then I do shut up so they can run on. And at the end, there's the diss that I'm bad. And then I tend to get a little sarcastic about that. Look, we don't need to fight with each other. We need to deal with the dollar devaluation. We need to deal with the loss of liberty that's happening. And, I tried to even nicely agree with Jeremy and say, yeah, there is a lot of crazy weather going on. But a lot of that is dealing with the moon and sun cycles, and we've had top meteorologists on with that. Yes, there are weather weapons. Yes, there's chemtrail programs going on. Yes, I've done countless shows about that. It's not my fault this is going on. I'm not the bad man. I know I'm the person that'll take the call. Government won't. You can talk to me. And so if I need to be the bad man, I can be that for you. But on a larger issue, just so you understand, I agreed with you that it's a distraction at a certain level to spend a bunch of time talking about the shooting in Tucson because there's other bigger things going on. But you can't please everybody with what you cover or what you go over. And you have to understand, yes, they're overblowing it as bad as it is because they personalize it. They show you who these people are. They humanize it. But when they're killing 1 million plus Iraqis, they don't humanize it. Okay? They don't put a human face on it. But they're using this to try to pass legislation against the First Amendment to take over talk radio and media and the internet, and to restrict the Second Amendment. Now, it doesn't get any bigger than that, Bubba. That's your capacity to have a radio show or call into one. So, yes, in and of itself, it's an overblown diversion, but we have to fight them in the media war and fight their lies. And whereas 20 years ago, or even 10, we'd lose almost every battle, now we're winning almost every battle. 3-4 days into this, now it's common knowledge that he was basically in love with her, obsessed with her, and on drugs. And it wasn't liberals' fault, it wasn't conservatives' fault. So they can't demonize collectively and take all of our liberties. So this is a big issue. Trying to take our First Amendment, trying to take our Second Amendment. They're getting on the news saying, I'm guilty. They're saying, I'm behind this little girl's death. That's a big deal, buddy. You understand that? We'll be right back. Hundreds of nations have fallen to tyranny in the last century alone. This is our last chance to not relive history.
As we're finishing off this agenda, they'll be pulling the rug from underneath Americans at home.
They have tremendous influence on our president and Congress, and they really are calling the shots.
I think it's incumbent upon all of us as American citizens to pay attention.
Fall of the Republic identifies the enemies of our nation, the criminal offshore cartel, hell-bent on destroying sovereignty, and on its ashes constructing world government.
Tim Geithner, Bernanke, they're arsonists. They're asking for more matches. And the Congress is saying, who do we make the check out to?
Today, seems like nobody does care. And right now in Washington, D.C., we have seen a fall of the Republic.
Get your copy of Fall of the Republic on DVD at Infowars.com or watch it online right now in super high quality at prisonplanet.tv.
Is it really possible to get out of debt without payment plans or attorneys? 18 years ago, we developed a program that has made thousands debt-free in just 90 days. It's called Zero Debt in 90 Days, and it works for all credit card debt, medical bills, even collection lawsuits.
When I first joined, I was being sued. So I used the program methods, and after filing one piece of paper, the collection lawsuit was dismissed.
With Zero Debt in 90 days, your success is guaranteed in writing. There is no other program of its kind. Don't be alone when creditors gang up on you. Let our team of experts provide the resources to fight back and stop creditors in only 90 days, guaranteed. Prevent wage garnishments, bank levies, and stop collection calls with our proven program. Call Zero Debt in 90 days now, 800-477-9256, and ask for free information from an expert who also completed our program. 800-477-9256 or ZeroDebtGuaranteed.com. 800-477-9256 or ZeroDebtGuaranteed.com.
New year, new way to smoke, and it's totally wicked. Introducing Totally Wicked e-liquid electronic cigarettes, the highest quality e-cigarettes in the world. With Totally Wicked e-liquid cigarettes, there's no flame, no secondhand smoke, no carbon monoxide, no tar, no unsightly brown teeth or fingers, and no lingering smell. Totally Wicked e-liquid cigarettes have a battery charge that lasts up to 8 hours. Plus, with a Totally Wicked Tornado model, the average pack-a-day smoker is likely to save over $1,000 a year. The Totally Wicked Tornado provides a storm of vapor. See it at totallywicked-eliquid.com. That's totallywicked-eliquid.com. Or call 888-761-9425. Get a 15% discount with promo code GCNLive. Go to totallywicked-eliquid.com or call 888-761-9425. That's 888-761-9425. Or online at totallywicked-eliquid.com. Totally Wicked e-liquid cigarettes, the next generation of alternative smoking.
Crew now, and I've gone around to everybody and said, have you ever taken this salvia stuff? And I found one person that has, and they said you black out for about 20 minutes. And that's what the encyclopedia says of drugs online, is that you literally, quote, disassociate. I mean, that sounds like mind control 101. And this guy was reportedly doing it, quote, almost every day. This is what his friends and neighbors said. And Rush Limbaugh's to blame. I guess Rush Limbaugh is into Oxycontin, but I mean, different strokes for different folks. Man, I would be scared to take something that makes you completely not know who you are. I mean, I've heard of hallucinogens that make you see funny stuff and things, and I'm scared of that. Can you imagine taking something where you don't even know who you are? How long were you saying it lasts? Because that's what I read, 20, 30 minutes? And you don't know who you are. We're not going to say what crew member's taking it. How many years ago was this? 2 years ago. Just at parties now. It's just everywhere. That's what Eric Mancow Muller was saying earlier. He says he just goes to mainline parties, and this just... In fact, I've read about this in the paper before and didn't really know what it was because I don't pay attention to drug culture. This is sold at, like, tobacco stores, head shops, yeah, where you buy, like, weed head pipes. Ladies and gentlemen, arrest all of these people immediately. No, I mean, I'm joking around about that, but why do I get blamed for some guy, a liberal, smoking basically natural PCP? Why am I being blamed for this? Bill Clinton's back in the news going, I don't care what people say. This was politically motivated, I believe. And I did not have sex with that woman, by the way. And getting rid of Glass-Steagall's going to be great. Ask my Commerce Secretary. Oh, he got shot in the head. Then I appointed this guy who's now running the White House daily. He comes from a good family. They work with Al Capone. Your speech is dangerous. Shut up. All these headlines. Speech is dangerous. Restrict speech. Who's up next here, John? Should I go into overdrive or should I not to get to all these calls? I am a bad person. Bob in California. Go ahead, you're on the air.
Thank you for taking my call. There was 2 points I'd like to make. I don't recall the details because the event occurred in the 30s, but President Roosevelt and a mayor of, I believe, Miami were on the platform together, and a nutcase shot and killed the mayor.
Well, that's Rush Limbaugh's fault.
Well, anyhow, I don't know about that, but let me finish my story. So anyhow, they arrested the guy immediately, indicted him quickly, tried him promptly, and executed him within 30 days. There was no screwing around. He was obviously the victim, the culprit. There was no doubt about who did what, just as in this case there's no doubt about who did what. And to drag this out for months and months and months at the expense of the taxpayers is ridiculous. So that's a precedent was set in the 30s. Then the other item I'd like to bring to your attention is there's great talk about joblessness and they're going to create jobs and all this foolishness. There's only one way to create jobs, and that's to eliminate the minimum wage law. There's a lot of people that would work happily for, say, $7 an hour, and there's a lot of employers that would hire them for $7 an hour, but both of them would be termed criminals by these people who are on the gravy train with government paychecks.
Well, you know, it sounds like you've been an employer. When somebody's getting $7 an hour, or whatever the minimum wage is now, I forget, what is it now? But you've got to do their Social Security matching, their FICA and all that. So somebody getting $7 an hour is really getting more like 11 or 12. Somebody getting 15 is getting like 21. Somebody getting 20 is getting like 30. I mean, that's the big secret here.
The issue I'm trying to make is you're a staunch advocate of freedom. When a man who's adult and in his own senses is willing to work for $7 an hour and an employer is willing to hire him, and the two of them agree, and then to have some third party who has no...
Stay there, we're going into overdrive.
America's #1 source for independent talk radio for over a decade. We are the GCN Radio Network.
They help. Hello, friends. This is Alex Jones. You've heard me talk about Cal-Ben 5-star soaps for years. This is an American-made product of the highest quality and compares to nothing you will find in stores. You can buy factory direct, shipped via UPS right to your door. Check them out on the web at 5starsoap.com or call 800-340-7091. Take my word for it. Once you've used Pure Soap, you won't buy anything else. Since 1947, Cal-Ben Soap Company has been showing consumers that soap can be tough on dirt and gentle on the environment. Buy American and stay clean, as well as support InfoWars. Visit 5starsoap.com today or call 1-800-340-7091. Well, Marty, what do you have to say?
As founder and owner for over 63 years, satisfaction is guaranteed or double your dirt back. Call us at 1-800-340-7091 for a free catalog or visit our website, 5starsoap.com. Thank you.
Coast to coast, direct from Austin. You're listening to the Alex Jones Broadcasting Network.